Counted amongst the world's most vulnerable populations, women and children are the backbone of every society, and optimizing their well being has been a matter of national concern in the Gambia. The government under President Barrow is taking significant steps to empower the important demographic with prioritized social protection programs led by the Ministry of Gender, Women and Children Affairs. 2022 was a crucial period to advance this momentum, which took on a focused direction engaging a broad range of action concertedly driven by government and civil society organizations who used the year to amplify calls for women's protection and development. In the Gambia, the rights of women and children are captured in several acts and laws such as the Children's Act of 2005, Women's Act 2010, Sexual Offences Act 2013, Domestic Violence Act 2013, along with other international conventions. This act seeks to address challenges faced by women and children in the country.
We continue to advocate for the promotion of protection and rights of women and girls, provide technical and financial support, build the capacity of all actors in responding to gender-based violence.
But patriarchal norms and deeply embedded harmful traditions continue to threaten their full implementation. 2022 was the year to amplify these efforts, and women's rights advocates rose to the challenge in a committed mission supported by the government. The focus was a full execution of legislation to advance protection as well as programs to directly address the plight of women and children in the country. The call for action by activists and stakeholders in the development of gender related concerns, particularly affecting women, was intensified during the year, with several groups joining the crusade to realize the goals of protection chapters guaranteeing the rights of women and children. The Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Welfare, along with partners, embarked on a focused promotion of gender justice through its policies and programs, driven actions to supporting the implementation of TRRC recommendations to effectively cover women victims.
I pledge my ministry's continued support in ensuring that children and young people remain at the forefront of all the planned interventions of my ministry.
Organizations such as Child Protection Alliance, SOS Children's Village, Child Fund, UNFPA, Department of Social Welfare, and UNICEF, amongst a host of others, joined forces with the government to complement national efforts in protecting women's rights and welfare of children.
I do hear that children are the future leaders. If this is true, then what kind of leader is Gambia expecting in near future? When our parents, leaders and caregivers are castigating and insulting each other in front of us.
A key part of that undertaking sought to particularly enhance women's access to health services and special care to tackle emergent challenges such as maternal mortality. The campaign for women's health and well-being took a significant turn in 2022, with advocates expanding community outreach to offer free healthcare services, ranging from fistula, breast and cervical cancer support, and awareness promoting women's health.
Breast cancer is a very ravaging disease, and it is taking a toll on mostly our female folks.
On the food security front, women are still the dominant majority in the agro-production sector, playing a key role in the country's agriculture with vegetable and rice cultivation, providing regular supplies for market and households in a value chain where women's efforts are still underplayed and hardly recognized. The challenges and drudgeries that they face are all too common and the same across the country. Lack of access to land, difficulties in obtaining seeds, transportation, and inadequate financing to increase yields in production are recurrent problems still challenging women farmers.
So everything that is food we grow, and it's not for the international market. We're strategic about this, it's for the local market.
As the country's biggest demographic, women are in every sector and their contribution is immensely boosting growth. The ravages of climate change are mostly felt by women and children, and addressing these vulnerabilities is a top government priority. Women are the biggest environmental champions in the Gambia, and their efforts are making headway. In 2022, a delegation of Gambian women traveled to COP27 in Egypt to forward eco-protection concerns increasingly affecting women's livelihoods.
The plan is for the Gambia Women's Chamber of Commerce is to begin to reorient women-owned business towards climate change so that they understand the implications of climate change.
A string of violent abuses that threaten women's safety was a major highlight of 2022. It will increase action leading to the introduction of an emergency toll-free helpline for victims of sexual violence to seek quick and effective redress. Rights advocates cap off the year's activities and call for action with a nationwide commemoration of 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, Team on Unite Activism to End Violence Against Women and Girls, alongside the launching of the toll-free line to report SGBV cases.
Of course, it does happen to men, but mostly it happens to women and girls because we are more vulnerable to such kind of violences. And that is why we are raising awareness in communities, in schools, at radio stations, across the country.
Over the years, we have used this day to celebrate the achievements of our women and to identify their challenges in promoting gender equality and women's empowerment at the national, regional, and international levels.
Amid these achievements lies massive setbacks, such as the acute kidney injury crisis that hit the health sector, claiming the lives of over 70 children whose deaths were linked to contaminated India-made cough syrups. Efforts to address the plight of women and children achieved considerable breakthroughs in 2022, but their future remains perilous amid increased violations and right abuses, mainly driven by the inequalities shaping the post-pandemic era. Reporting for GRTS News, Khadija Bokum.